he's really come into play, Grubby, and that's looking like it might be a pretty handy move now because Donohue's had little or no effect on the game.
The only way that can change is if Donohue can snag 2 or 3 in the last quarter and get his team home. Even then, you would say over 3.5 quarters, it's not a bad move. I know they've missed measures around the middle, but all these other blokes are doing well enough. They haven't missed him too much, and they've kept the match winner to a mediocre performance. So,
he kicked that first goal in the first quarter, didn't he?
When he kicked that first goal in the first quarter, I think he could have a field day here and we might be going home early. But Measures has stuck to his guns, and the rest of the Bannockburn side, because that ball came in, their first couple of goals came in so quick and so good. But Bannockburn have able to put the pressure on, and some of these balls aren't coming in. They've got to earn them in there.
Back in the middle, final quarter action starting now, and it's up, and the ruckman this time, Wilson up over the top, gets first hand on ball. Again, it's not coming out too quickly as there is a number of players converging on the contest, and it's going to go back to the umpire. So we have a repeat here, not too far from the centre circle once again. This time Fulton up and down, taps it back, goes towards Middleton, try to get the handball out, went to Grundle. He actually, thank God, the umpire blew the whistle because it was going the wrong way there, Doc Grundle. Didn't matter because it's going back to Middleton. So it's a free kick to Middleton. He's been okay, actually, as I said, Grub. He's got a bit of size and presence through the middle of the ground.
He has.
Goes out wide to Measures. So Measures now will go back to Middleton, and he's got a chance to run if he wants to. No, he decides to stop and prop.
He's a bit bigger than Willie, isn't
he? He is. He managed to give some to Willie, I think. Ball goes inside, and that's to Robertson. So he's got options far outside of the ground. He can go there now, and that is Jervis. Will he take him on? No, he's going to settle down. He's going to go back and take up some responsibility and try and kick his third goal of the afternoon.
Was he captain?
Jackie Broman's captain.
Yeah, well, Jackie Broman's coach.
I don't know.
I don't know. I know he used to be
Dan Measures, captain.
Okay.
And that was the kick then, and he's come in and he's kicked the goal after all that. So first goal is to Connor Jervis and to Bannockburn, which regains them the lead. 14-16 to the Bannockburn side, 12-14 to Inverleigh, and we have gone just on 1.5 minutes, final quarter. Morris Finance scoreboard.
Robinson was a beautiful kick out there. He saw his target, hit his target, had plenty of time. Connor Jervis could have made the mistake of going on and trying to kick it on the run because he's normally better than on the run. But he realised, you said it perfectly. Responsibility, go back, take it, and kick the goal. And that's exactly what he did. And I'm barraging for Inverleigh now.
We're in the middle of the ground. And it's Wilson who wins the tap out, gets it very quickly across to Tyke when he gets the ball forward. Coming through the pack there is McEwen. Walsh. He can't win possession. Jared Love's trying to win the ball for Inverleigh, but Bannockburn relieve pressure, kicked it back into a very tight spot, but Middleton takes a very strong mark under a great deal of pressure. He releases Henderson out on the half-back flank. Henderson will be looking down further for Ritchie, and he finds him. They're still just inside or outside the 50-metre arc. Back to Middleton on the corner of the centre square. He kicks into the middle of the ground, and Spiller takes the ball. He kicks long down the line looking for Cole. He's pushed into the ball, which actually works for him. Picks it up on the bounce. Hetherington comes in and takes a chest mark low down right in front of goal, only 25 metres out directly in front. And that was a pretty good movement of the footy, calm and careful by Bannockburn, and now they've got another chance to score.
Well, it was. It was precision across the half-back line, and then the long kick didn't look too good, but they had a bit of luck with that one and was able to get it up, and that was a really good mark. They're hard to take. It's only millimetres from the ground. They're hard to take.
Tall lad too.
Yeah.
So Hetherington comes in now. Slightly awkward kicking style, but it leaves the boot reasonably well. No, fades away at the last minute, 1 point only. So they're 14-7 now, Inverleigh 12-14. And we've just gone 3 minutes into the final quarter. The Morris Finance final quarter here at the Moreton Power Oval at Inverleigh.
So Templeton looks like he's doing the kicking in from the full-back position.
There's a whistle and a 50. I've got no idea what it's for.
Well, it had to be for talking because he certainly wasn't in the wrong spot. He was
how could you be talking dissent after a point?
Weird stuff. Anyway, it's kicked forward by Templeton, coming out and taking the relieving mark. For Bannockburn is Kieran Fulton, who's done a splendid job since he was moved into the ruck in the second quarter. It goes across to Clifton. Clifton, as I mentioned, has kicked the ball beautifully. He's looking for Broman just over his head, but Jai Robinson runs onto the ball. His left foot kick right into that danger spot. Filett's running back for Inverleigh. Muir over the back of the pack. Neither of them can take the the mark there, but it's Templeton now wins possession, gets it across to Brown. Brown wheels around for Bannockburn, kicks down the line, but standing underneath it is Robinson. She seemed to be interfered with as he went for a mark by Dalton Grundle, but all seems well in the umpire's eyes, and we're going to have a boundary throw in about 30 metres around from the Bannockburn goal. Yeah, Robinson was met very heavily in that marking contest, but all fair dinkum, the umpire said. Ball's thrown in, Cole and Wilson. Wilson gets a hand to it, but it's Jack Broman who picks up the crumb, gets it quickly into the forward line, but marking is Bile in the square for Inverleigh. One of many pretty solid defenders this afternoon. His little kick goes into the back pocket and finds Templeton, who's done a pretty good job down there as well. He also kicks short, looking for and finding Dalton Grundle. They're slowly sneaking out, still inside the 50-metre circle. Dalton goes down, and Wilson, the big ruckman, he leads up. They're just outside 50 metres now, still under a lot of pressure, not many options for them. So Wilson will be forced to kick long down the line. He's got down to centre wing players waiting underneath, but Kieran Fulton finishes up taking a mark unopposed as the pack didn't form underneath the ball drop. Fulton finds Jai Robinson. The little left footer kicks down the line, and that's Connor Jervis on the far side of the ground for Bannockburn. He kicks into the middle and finds Middleton. Middleton, quick hand pass to Richie. Richie's neat little pass and finds Battaglia. That's Tristan, and he is directly in front.
He's not without a chance here.
The man on the mark's 45 metres from goal. Kicks it across, flicks it across to Richie. Richie kicks long. Ball lands in the square, but I think it's Biles got back and fisted it through for a one behind. Sneaky little move there they nearly got away with, but Bile did a very good job to get back in time. Templeton kicks into the pocket, and Jack Filet marks for Inverleigh. Kicks down the line, and Finn O'Keefe has made good position just short of the centre wing. Inverleigh looking for a way ahead here. They haven't been before. O'Keefe uses his pace, run round the man on the mark, kicks down the line, but he's dropped it straight on the head of Kieran Fulton again. And they just seem to have lost a bit of momentum at this stage. Joshy Kay has marked centre wing for Bannockburn. They're coming back into attack again. He patiently kicks down the line. He's landing it towards Broman. He can't mark the ball. He's been in a very good contest with Jared Young this afternoon, which he currently has taken the honours. The ball's forced over the boundary line. Half-back flank, Bannockburn in attack. They lead by 6 points, and we are 7 minutes into the final quarter, the Morris Finance final quarter.
So ball thrown back in, ball comes back to the contest. Henderson goes back and collects it. Got an option out the back, missed him because the hands of Robinson got in the way. The second one went back towards Peters, gets in and out of trouble. Just got boot to ball back towards Middleton. He picks the ball up. He just decides to go long back into the forward line. Contest required, but Filet read it nicely. Hasn't made many mistakes all day, and he transfers play far side of the ground. Boyle's the running player out the far side. He had it, lost it, left it behind. He has support, goes back into the hands of Circuit. Now he needs to get himself out of trouble. Goes back to Brown. Brown goes further afield. Short kick will be okay. Actually, it's actually missed the target, but again, numbers out there with Inverleigh. They run the ball through the middle. Goes to Tyquin. He's over the top of it. Got the handball away. Ball in dispute now. They need to pick the ball up. Ends up the hands there of Joshy Kay. He goes long, but who's standing back there? Filet. Then he gets another mark, uncontested. Transfers play. That kick wasn't great. So Broman and Grundle lead there. They're picked up by Grundle, gets in and out of contest. Goes back to Muir. Also being good as his short kick was effective. Went towards Burke. Burke goes over the top into the hands of Love. Love now looks further afield. He goes in towards Manganelli. Spoils from behind by Bowden. Ball at ground level. Picked up by Robinson. Back to Measures. He left it behind. Mays. He won't make a mistake, but he goes to Donoghue and he finishes off. So Donoghue kicks his second goal of the afternoon, and the 13th now for Inverleigh. 13-14, 14-8, and we have gone 8.5 minutes, final quarter. Morris Finance scoreboard.
You could just sense the build-up in that one. It was coming and coming and coming. Maybe a couple of little mistakes there. I thought the mistake down here, Jackie Broman very rarely goes to ground, but I thought he went to ground too easy, thinking he might get a free kick. He didn't get it. And then, of course, Dan Measures, who's played a wonderful game, probably could have grabbed that ball.
I reckon he's played 15 games with Bannockburn, and I reckon the number of mistakes he's made like that, you count on one hand.
Well, he hasn't. That's the first one he's made like that.
Very sure.
But with the ball coming back out, Donoghue didn't make any mistakes. He hasn't played great, but he makes the most of his opportunity.
So in the middle, Wilson gets it to Taekwon. His hand pass
What?
is deemed to be a throw, and it looked a little bit like a shovel, and Jai Robinson will take the free kick for Bannockburn. He's waiting for
someone
option.
said something.
I don't know if he said something or jumped and put his hand up.
Oh, I think he's saying he ran past. I think Rusty's indicating he ran past to pick up a player, and he's got too close again.
Well, if the other player runs across, he's allowed to do that.
That's not 50 metres, is it?
That's about 30.
Yeah, that's a halfway. I'm not quite sure if I got that right decision, I reckon.
Well,
so here, cop 30.
Yeah, I made a mistake, but I've got to give you 30.
So
Bloody
Jai
hell.
Robinson for Bannockburn kicks, and he's given that a bit of a left footer's hook, and it's just snuck in for one behind.
Look, I don't give a stuff. If he gets it wrong, he gets it wrong. But if he gets 50 there and gets a proper 50, Bannockburn kick a goal.
So Bannockburn sneak out a 1 point lead. They're 14-9-93, Inverleigh 13-14-92. Templeton has the ball for Inverleigh. He's looking for options. Dalton Grundle has provided one on the half-back flank, and he's hit him right in the hands in front of his eyes, as he has done most times this afternoon. Circuit has the ball now. He's done
Well,
a
that's
very
going to be
good job.
deliberate, that one.
That could be deemed that
No,
way.
it's not.
No, he's throwing it in.
You know what? That one is deliberate. He was
Yep.
falling over. He had nowhere to
And
go.
he's got a smile on his face like the Cheshire cat
Yeah.
out there.
And I hate the deliberates. You know how I hate them, Smithy?
yeah.
But that was deliberate.
So the ball throw back in. Circuit read that nicely out of the contest. Goes back into the forward line. In front, Cole doesn't take the mark. Ball comes out the front. Working hard. Mays dives on top of it. Now he's in trouble. The ball does come out from under him. That's he did nicely there. And it's going to come back to the umpire for another throw-up to take place.
I'll tell you what it has done. It's told us that the GDFL season isn't over. It isn't going to be a procession for the Mighty Hawks.
So the ball again thrown back in the air, and again the ruckman go at it. Contest, Donohue's there, picked up, ground level, Circuit working hard, and that's where you expect him to be, underneath the contest. Measures, plucks it out, but the umpire says no, it's going to come back to me once again. So we'll have it another ball up, similar position to the last. Umpire about to restart it, just clearing the path from behind him. Comes to Grundle, ends up in the hands of Robertson. Robertson, they get the ball back, gets it back again, clear space, kick off quickly
Could be
from
out
the
in
boot.
full, could it?
Measures, yep, so it's out of bounds on the full. So free kick going to Inverleigh, and it will be to, I'm not too sure who's got it. No, Ryan Gerard's got the ball. So back beyond the boundary line. So he's now got the ball. So he's only looked to bring the ball into their forward line. Now umpires, what's he saying?
Yeah, I just wondered about there's no fence there, and there's a heap of kids sitting on the ground, and they are awfully close to line, so they probably need to be pushed back a little bit.
Well, if he lets him kick it, the ball will be 50 metres away. We won't have to worry about it.
So now Gerard plays on. He goes in towards the centre half forward position. Coming across was Fulton. He takes the mark. Handball goes over the top to Jervis. Don't know whether he's expecting it, but he's picked the ball up now. Runs away. Kicks on the right foot. Goes round the boundary. Again, said his teammate in Vickers a bit of a task. He's out there by himself. He did nicely with the first option. Got the handball back inside to Osborne. Osborne, nice handball back inside to Hetherington. Runs inside 50. Handballs over the top to Cole. Back to Hetherington. He's looking for some assistance. Has it now. Goes across the ground to Joshy Kay. And he takes the mark. Another finger tipper. We're going to go to the judge again.
No, I'm giving him that one.
Gotta
I'm
go to
giving
the
him that one
judge.
without a doubt.
Joshy Kay now with the ball. Thank you. Thank you. Joshy Kay.
He's not trying that.
I'm on him in game.
He's not trying that. Well, I'll tell you what, if Dougie Cations taught him how to kick, he's just going to kick it out in the full for sure. Go on, Joshy.
Go Joshy Kay. That's all we can say. So he's out to about 30 metres out. Not too much of an angle to work with here. Kicks that goal. Oh, I don't think he's left it left. I think he has.
I reckon
And
he's
through
put him
for
in
a
front,
minor
hasn't he?
score. So 14-10 now to Bannockburn. 13-14 to Inverleigh. And 13 and a half gone, final quarter. Plenty of time left.
So
That's
the
a
ball's
great
come
kick.
out, and Burke's taken that magnificent kick from fullback. He's kicked down the line looking for Manganelli. Over his head, punched away by Lincoln Peters. Right in front of the scoreboard, showing a 2-point lead to Bannockburn here in the Morris Finance final quarter, pushing towards 14 minutes in. I reckon we've got about, going another quarter's about 14 minutes of action left. Inverleigh have got plenty of time to get themselves back in front and win what many expected they would. So boundary throw in out of side. McEwen, Walsh and Fulton been going at it plenty of times this afternoon. Fulton gets it down, not going too far. Player tackled immediately, and we'll have another ball up. Another ball up coming your way. It's just between wing and half forward. McEwen Walsh gets it down, but coming across to is Clifton for Bannockburn. His quick hand pass across to Jai Robinson. Oh, that's Bannockburn tackled there, dispossessed. The umpire said play on. It's out near the boundary line again, appealing for holding the ball or incorrect disposal, and Bannockburn's Paddy Burke will be the recipient of the free kick.
They had to get one of them.
So Burke kicks down, coming out to take a mark, relieving the pressure is Hetherington, who was at a really big second half after hardly calling his name in the first half, but he's been very regular during the second half of this game. He tries to get round the man on the mark, hand passes it quickly, hand passes across to Robinson. He tries to get around his opponent, can't. The ball is knocked out of play, and we'll have another boundary throw in.
This bloody handball in the back line, it's hurting both sides.
Yes.
Kick the bloody thing.
Yeah, there's been a few
get it
mistakes
50 out and then worry about what you're going to do from there.
My word.
Jackie Brayman hobbling back on.
Yeah, I saw him hobbling before.
So ball's thrown in. Fulton punches the ball straight back over the boundary line, and we'll have another throw in. So game very, very tight. 15 and a half minutes gone now. 2-point lead to Bannockburn here in the Morris Finance final quarter at Inverleigh. Comes through the back of the pack. May's trying to get away. Can't. He's dragged down. The umpire said we'll have another ball up.
No, he's not.
Said there's a push in the back.
Oh, push in the back.
I had the binoculars on. That's a bloody disgraceful decision.
So ball's kicked deep into the forward line over the back of the pack. Punched away by Bowden, running onto it. Tackle, I think that was Jervis under there, was it? Strong tackle deemed to be high, and Connor Jervis will take the free
Where did he
kick.
get him, do you think?
I thought it was fair.
It
Goes
was
out
as fair
into the
as the
back
day
pocket.
is long to me.
Middleton kicks down the line. Players are coming towards the ball. Bile for Inverleigh, punches from the back of the pack, tries to pick up the crumb, comes across to McEwen Walsh.
That's dropping the
He's
ball.
tackled and does drop the ball. And I think that's Middleton for Bannockburn. Gets it, kicks down the line, looking for Joshy Kay, but it's Dean Muir who's played a really, really good game for the Hawks this afternoon. Takes a chest mark, uses his body really well.
I think you're 2 points behind, mate.
And
Get rid of it.
Muir kicks down the line, a wobbly kick, unusual for him. He's kicked it beautifully this afternoon. Cole for Bannockburn butters up, gets it across, and Bowden takes the mark. Right on the 50-metre line, Bannockburn being pushed backwards, Inverleigh in attack. Short kick out, and Cole takes a mark. Further out, the umpire's called him back. I think he's clearing the runner out of the road, and the ball's going to come back to Bowden.
Was he? I don't think he was behind his mark that one. That's what he indicated, was it? Was it getting rid of Reiki?
Not quite sure, but Bowden kicks down the line. Hetherington jumps. Also, Joshy Kay punched away from him. Coming through for Bannockburn, picking up the crumb there is Young Haste. He kicks forward, but measures. Sitting behind Donahue takes a relieving mark. He kicks quickly out to Lockie Middleton. Kicks over the top to
Lockie Battaglia.
Lockie Battaglia. He takes a mark. The umpire.
Well, that's got to be holding the ball
play
now.
on, and he's going to ball it up.
It's got to be holding the ball.
He claimed that he played on.
And he did play on.
Ryan Gerard grabbed him immediately, but he deemed that he had no chance to get rid of the ball. The tackle was so good. So we're going to have a ball up.
Jeez.
So Cole's coming in with Wilson. Wilson gets over the back to Gerard, but Ritchie comes through, slaps it out of his hand, but over the boundary line for a throw-in. Got a neat bit of camera work happening here at the Inverleigh Oval. We've got a bit of a technical issue for the YouTube channel. I hope you're still picking it up out there.
Oh, Mick won't be happy.
So Wilson tries to get it. Coming through the pack is Dalton Grundle. He hand passes out, but it's into the path of Battaglia. He gets it on the left foot, kicks down the line. Kieran Fulton is in good position. Punched away from him by Filet. Over the back to Muir. Muir releases Brown. Brown hand passes over top to Jared Young. He goes backwards 10 or 15 metres to Muir, who kicks down looking for Haste, but Connor Jervis does a very good job to knock the ball away from Haste.
No, he's
the
paid a
umpire
free
said
kick.
he's infringed, and young Inverleigh wingman will take the free kick. Gets up looking very sore and sorry for himself.
He's in the wars, the kid.
He's done a very good job again this afternoon. Very tenacious performance. He quickly kicks down the line, and Burke takes a chest mark in front of Jervis. Burke finds another spot in the middle of the ground. It is Wilson. Wilson plays on immediately after his opponent overcorrected, kicks long down to the forward line. He's looking for Donoghue, and as before, Daniel Measures uses his body really well, holds his position behind Donoghue and takes the mark in the back pocket to relieve pressure again for Bannockburn. He's signalling his teammates to get out to the boundary line, and that's exactly where he kicks it. But coming in to take a good mark is Matt Tyquin for Bannockburn, playing against his former side. There's a bit of feeling out there earlier. He's been very, very serviceable. Tyquin kicks into the hot spot, and McEwen Walsh uses his body really well, plays on and kicks a very, very important goal for the Hawks. As we come up to the 20-minute mark into the final quarter, Inverleigh are back in front, kicking their 13th goal for the afternoon. 13-14.
14-14.
14-14. Bannockburn are 14-10, 4-point leaders to Inverleigh.
I tell you what, some of these blokes, you watch them through the binoculars on the other side of the ground, they are out on their feet, and they're just still going and going and going. And I tell you what, if anybody says this ain't an Anzac game, then they're wrong. This has got to be the Anzac game every year. This is just magnificent, magnificent football, played in that spirit. As I said, blokes are buggered and they're still going hard at it. And this is just a magnificent game of football. As I said before, it opens up the fact that now, all right, Inverleigh might still win it, but they're going to have to work hard for it because sides like Bannockburn and I reckon East and maybe West, they're going to come for them. I know they've got a few to come back in, like Casey Meehan over here and Billy Cations, but I'll tell you what, Bannock have got a couple out too. And I'll tell you what, it's been a great day so far. I want a draw. That's what I want.
Ball back in the middle, as we said, and the ball is thrown up. Neither ruckman get a hand on it. Picked up by Richie. He goes back into the forward line. Ball bounces, coming across Muir. He doesn't quite that up. Picked up by Joshy Kay. Got the handball. So he didn't. Goes round the body with the kick. Goes back towards Filet. He does nicely. Brings the ball to ground. Again, they work hard to push it back through for a minor score. And that's what it'll be to the Bannockburn side. So they now move to 14-11. 14-14 to the home side. So now Templeton not too sure where he wants to go, but he changes his mind and goes short inside 50, finds Muir. Muir's got a player outside, goes towards that play now, and Boyle, and he'll take the mark. So Boyle now, he runs, carries the centre wing and goes long down to the half-forward line. McEwen Walsh is there, got the hands up, couldn't take the mark, plays on now, goes long, barreled it towards goal. Donoghue's there, ball runs over his head and is out of bounds in the forward pocket.
Did
so
he
good.
actually play a free kick?
Where?
Well, I just heard the whistle. He played a van. I didn't know if he played it or not.
Yeah, not 100% there, Grub.
I'm hearing whistles from everywhere here.
So again, good transfer of play from one end to the other. Ball thrown back in by the umpire. Fulton takes the ball out of the contest, then kicks round the body, goes back towards centre wing. Players leading the race for the wall, picked up by Finn O'Keefe. Looks one way, went back the other. Decides to go long, back to the goal square behind Fulton. Ball knocked, or gets through the contest, runs, carries, was spoiled, and has been pushed through for a minor score, this time to Inverleigh. So 14-15 now Inverleigh, 14-11 to Bannockburn, and we've gone just on 23 minutes final quarter.
The ball's kicked out. Hetherington has made position outside of the 50-metre arc. He hand passes over to Richie, does a bit of juggling but wins the ball back. He's stationary now, kicks into the middle of the ground, punched away from Vickers over the back of the pack. Inverleigh first onto the ball through Filet, who's played a fantastic game today. Kicks down the line over the back of the pack, comes past Manganelli. Does a very good job to butter up. Finn O'Keefe,
he got one high.
He got one
high
for sure. And
he's played on the ball.
He's been pinged for holding
He had
the ball.
his head taken off.
The first tackle was definitely across the back of the
scone.
But unfortunately for Inverleigh, that was not seen. But Bannockburn take the kick now. Coming out into the line, Cole's making position. He can't take the mark. Byles done a really good job. He's lifted since three-quarter time. Gerard gets it, slaps it on his foot really quickly. And coming out to take the mark is Jared Love for the Inverleigh side. He's outside scoring distance, drops it into the forward pocket. Adam Donoghue runs on to the ball. Was very good from Love. He's kicked it into the space, and Donoghue's run into it in front of Measures. These two have had a really good battle this afternoon, which I think Measures is slightly in front. But if Donoghue kicks his third here, he'll certainly square things up. He runs around, kicks across his body, the ball curves around, and it is a very important goal to the Inverleigh coach. His third for the afternoon, and it takes them to 15-15.
Five.
Bannockburn are 14-11. just past the 100 mark. We are now 24 minutes into the Morris Finance final quarter. Bannockburn now need 2 goals, Grubby. We reckon 4 minutes. What do you reckon?
Well, I tell you what, in any other game you'd say it's over. But I'm not willing to risk that just yet. The way Bannockburn have been down a few times and they've fought their way back, I'm not, as I say, I'm not going to concede that yet. One quick one and we're back in it. So I'm not saying too much just yet. Except for Donahue, who's been probably beaten most of the day, but he's come back right at the end here in this quarter and got him back on the board.
Ball up into the centre of the ground. Ball tumbles out to Tyke when he can't break free. It's O'Keefe who's had the ball ripped away from him by Ritchie, and it's deemed that Middleton it is. And Middleton takes the free kick for incorrect disposal. And he kicks long into the forward line. He'll be looking for Cole. Cole almost takes a chest mark. He's wrapped up very quickly as he picked up the rebound. The umpire comes in and says there will be a ball up. We're about 45 metres out from Bannockburn's goal on a 45-degree angle far side of the ground.
I'm banning for Bannockburn now.
Umpire's call. They are currently 10 points behind. Wilson gets the knockout, no real advantage. Players jump on the ball and we're going to have a secondary ball up. We're actually further out now. We're almost on the 50-metre line this time. So Bannockburn desperately in attack. Inverleigh defenders equally as desperate. Comes out to O'Keefe. This time he's been hit around the shoulder, and the umpire has seen this one, and the young fella who's played a pretty darn good game after receiving an injury to his eye early. He's come back very well, and he's got the ball. Half-back flank for Bannockburn. Neat little kick out to Jared Young. Jared Young kicks over the top, and he finds Matt Tyquin on the centre wing, far side of the ground. Inverleigh controlling the ball now, 10 points in front. There can only be 2 or 3 minutes at most left. Tyquin kicks down the line. Ball goes over the back of the pack and coming out and taking a low-down chest mark is Kieran Fulton, the big warrior from the Bannockburn side. He kicks back in that direction where it came from. Cole's looking to take the mark, can't get it. Byles done a very good job pressuring him. O'Keefe again gets the ball across to Jared Young. He runs around on his right foot, kicks it almost straight up in the air. Punched away from the pack by Wilson out near the boundary line. Players desperately trying to get the ball. Bowden for Bannockburn's got it. McEwen Walsh grabs hold of him, and the umpire says that he had the ball for too long. And the big ruckman forward for Inverleigh, McEwen Walsh gets it, runs around on the left foot, kicks it long into the forward line. It'll be Donahue and measures underneath the ball again, over the back of the pack. Bannockburn relieved through Middleton, kicking into the middle of the ground, but coming across to take the mark is Paddy Burke. He kicks it in the middle of the ground and finds Ryan Robertson. The left footer drops it up neatly in front of his forwards. They can't run under the ball. Jared Love picks up the ball now, evades a tackle. A little right foot kick back into the middle of the ground, looking for Brown. Brown can't get the ball, punches it out towards O'Keefe, but it's Battaglia who gets the ball to Broman. Broman across to Joshy Kay. He punches the ball forward, and it's Muir who's been fantastic this afternoon. He breaks 2 tackles, hand passes across to Brown. Brown kicks across the ground, but running onto the ball all by himself to pick up that poor kick is Jervis. Jervis kicks into the middle of the ground. Hetherington's first there. He grabs it. Across to Ritchie. Ritchie evades a tackle. He runs inside 50. Kicks long, very long and very straight. And that's a very important goal for Bannockburn. They're 15th for the afternoon. 15-11, 101. Inverleigh 15-15, 105. 28 minutes have gone in this, the Morris Finance final quarter. And based on previous ones, it might get to 30, but it might not. So we're in the dying stage of the quarter.
Got the finger on the clock. Where's Cogsy when you need him, Grub?
Oh, well, yeah.
4-point lead to Inverleigh.
Let it go.
Morris Finance final quarter here. What a magnificent game of footy this has been.
If it goes over 30, they can win.
Yeah,
They
definitely.
can win.
So the ball's back in the middle of the ground. Important clearance contest here. Again, at ground level. It's not going to come out. Both sides.
Siren! 28 minutes, the shortest quarter of the day.
And lucky it's not a point of difference.
That's where Cogsy is. He's in the timekeeper's box.
So at final score reads Inverleigh 15-15. They'll beat Bannockburn 15-11. And to this great contest, I can say this is probably one of the better games we've seen for a long, long time, Grub. So, tremendous to watch. So, goal kickers for the afternoon, as we said, Donahue finishes with 3, 2 each to Tyquin, Love, McEwen, Walsh and Manganelli. 1 each to Dixon, O'Keefe, Grundle and Haste. And for the Bannockburn side, 4 to Tristan Battaglia, 3 to Connor Jervis, 2 to Hetherington and Broman, and 1 each to Robinson, Ritchie and Middleton. That's Lockie Middleton. Take a short break, come back with the summary of the game here. You listen to 94.7 The Pulse, your home of local football.
The region's 5 local councils and almost 200 local business and community organisations